So good morning, my dear students. Today we're going to have another virtual class for G6114. This is Math in the Modern World. So today we're going to discuss your week 11, which is all about simple and compound interest. Today is November 3, 2021, and our schedule is 10:40 to 12:10 p.m. So we have now the simple and compound interest. So what is a simple interest? It is an interest computed based on the original principal during the whole life of investment. So formula for finding the simple interest. I is equal to PRT, where your I is that is your interest, P is your principal, R is equal to rate, T is equal to time. So simple interest is very common to us, no? Sa halimbawa po, pag mayroon tayong, pag umiram po tayo ng halimbawa 5,000, no? Tapos sasabihin natin, babayaran ko po ito after 3 years, tapos papatungan ko na lang, dagdagan ko na lang ng interest, gawin kong 500. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung inutang po natin ng 5,000, after 3 years, let's say 3 years, tapos nagdagdag kayo ng 500, or sabi niya may interest siya ng 500, after 3 years, ang total na babayaran po natin is 5,500. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, yung principal po natin, yung original value po natin is 5,000. Tapos, yung 500, yan po yung tinatawag nating interest. Okay? With that, 5,500 sa 5,000, magkakaroon po tayo ng rate, yung R. Yun po yung tinatawag nating interest rate po siya. So that is what we call the simple interest. So suppose you put 5 pesos in the bank. The bank pays 4% interest a year, and this is credited to your account at the end of the year. So A is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus I raised to T, wherein your A is the total acquired amount, P is the initial investment, the principal amount, T is equal to time, I is equal to the interest rate. No? So tulad kanina, pag mayroon po tayo ng 5,000, that is your initial investment or principal amount. Yung A, that is now your total of 5,500. Tapos yung interest po niya, yung formula niya, PRT, yung interest, that is your I, that is your 500 pesos. Okay? So kumbaga, yung A po natin dito, that's now the future value or maturity value nung pera po natin after a certain period. Okay? So we have your example. Natasha invests $250 in a building society account. At the end of the year, her account is credited 2% interest. How much interest had her $250 earned in the year? So, napakasimple po siya, no? So, nag-invest kayo ng $250, tapos, merong interest na 2%. After a year, ilan po yung magiging total ng ating investment? So, you have your A is equal to your P multiplied by 1 plus I raised to T. So, your principal is $250. 1 plus I, which is 2%, 0.02. Then, raised to T. Your time po natin dito is good for 1 year. So, simplify it further, 1 plus 0.02 raised to 1 is 1.02. Times 250, we have here a total of $255. So after 1 year, yung initial investment natin na 250, magiging $255 na po siya. So which means, that's the initial investment earned, ito po yung I natin kanina, yung interest natin. Nagkaroon siya ng interest na $5. Okay, so that is what we call a simple interest. Another example, Jan borrowed 3,000 for 4 years at 5% interest rate. How much interest is that? Okay, so meron po siya, no? So, formula, interest po niya I is equal to PRT. So, yung principal natin is 3,000 times 5%. Yung interest rate po niya, payable within 4 years. So, we're going to convert your percentage into decimal. 5% is 0.05. So, 3,000 times 0.05 times 4. So, by using our calcu, the interest of 3,000 within 4 years at 5% interest rate, we have $600. Ibig sabihin po nun, yung total na binabayaran po natin from 3,000 magiging $3,600 po siya. Okay? So that's our answer. So next, we have your another example. Sabi dito, Sarah deposit 4,000 pesos at a bank at an interest rate of 4.5% per year. How much interest will she earn at the end of 3 years? Okay? So, nag-deposit po siya ng 4,000, tapos yung binigyan na interest sa kanya is 4.5% per year. Okay? How much interest she will earn at the end of 3 years? Okay? So, simple interest is equal to P R multiplied by T. So, 4,000 times 4.5% or 0.045 times 3 within 3 years, no? Is equal to 540. So, therefore, after 3 years, yung deposit ni Sarah na 4,000 will going to earn 540 pesos. That is now the interest. So, after 3 years, the total amount na meron siya sa bangko is 4,540. Okay? Next, another example. Raymond bought the car for 40 pesos. 40,000 pesos. He took 20,000 loan from a bank at an interest rate of 13% per year for a 3-year period. What is the total amount, the interest, and the loan that we have to pay at the bank at the end of 3 years? So, parang ganito po siya na example po natin, no? So, halimbawa, bumuli po tayo ng sasakyan, tapos hindi natin kayang i-cash, magkakas po tayo ng 50%. Okay? Tapos yung another 50%, yun po yung tinatawag natin na financing. So, magkakaroon ng macro-financing yun, no? May financing po siya, no? Fi-finance ng bangko, depende po yun sa agreement po natin. So, dito, binayaran niyo yung 50%, yung 20,000 is umutang siya ng bangko. Tapos yung inutang niya sa bangko, babayaran niya within 3 years period. Okay? So, yung rate niya is 13%. So, ang nangyari doon, kasi umutang siya ng bangko, nabayaran niya ng cash yung sasakyan. Kaso may inutang siya ng 20,000 sa bangko, yun na yung babayaran po niya. Pero ang tanong ngayon, magkano lahat yung babayaran niya sa bangko? So, we have our solution. Simple interest equal to P, R, T. So, 20,000 multiplied by interest rate, which is 13%, times 3. So, we have a total of 7,800. So, therefore, at the end of 3 years, you would pay a total amount from your principal amount, 20,000 plus 7,800. Magbabayad po siya ng 27,800 pesos. So, pag titignan po natin, within 3 years, may patong na 7,800 yung hiniram po natin. Okay, next. Another example, Shirley got $1,200 loan for 2 years. Tapos, may binayaran siyang interest na $90. What was the interest rate? So, ano yung magiging interest rate po niya? Ilang percent? Okay? So, I is equal to 90. Yung interest niya, $90. Yung principal niya is 1,200. We're looking for the interest rate, which is unknown. Tapos yung time niya for a period of 2 years. So, from our formula, I is equal to PRT, R will be I all over PT. So I is equal to 90 divided by 1,200 multiplied by 2. So 90 divided by 2, 4. By using our calc, we have 0.0375 or that is 3.75%. So ito po yung interest na binayaran niya, which has a total of $90 po. Okay? So that's the way how we're going to compute yung interest rate ng ating inutang. So next you have your D, maturity value, denoted as F. Maturity value F is what we call the total amount the borrower would need to repay a loan. So F is equal to your principal plus interest. Since I is equal to PRT, so F is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus R multiplied by T. Or A is equal to P plus I raised to T. Okay? So, ganito po siya. What do you mean by maturity value? So, halimbawa, nag-invest tayo ng ganito. Halimbawa, 30,000. After 10 years, magkano po yung magiging total amount natin? So, halimbawa, naging 20,000. Yung 10,000 po natin. Ibig sabihin, yung maturity value natin, that is 20,000. Or your F, another term na ginagamit nila, F is future value. Ang tawag po nila po dyan. So, example dito, find the interest and maturity value on a loan of 10,000 pesos for 3 years with an interest of 10%. Okay? So, yung interest natin, formula natin, 10,000 PRT, 10,000 multiplied by 0.10 or 10% multiplied by 3. So, yung interest niya, nagkaroon po siya ng interest na 3,000 pesos for a period of 3 years. So, therefore, the maturity value or your future value is equal to principal plus interest. So, we have 10,000 plus 3,000. After 3 years, yung maturity value or future value ng ating pera na 10,000 ay magiging 13,000 na po siya. Okay? So, that is maturity value. So, next you have your D, ordinary interest. So, when say ordinary interest, interest computed on the basis of a 360-day a year. Okay? So, ordinary interest, IO, is equal to PR multiplied by D, or number of days, divided by 360. So, based on our previous example, meron tayo yearly po siya, no? But there are some instances kung meron po tayong hiniram, good for number of days, halimbawa, 80 days, okay, 90 days, no? Hindi natin paabutin ng isang taon. 90 days lang po, babayaran po natin. So, ito yung formula na gagamitin po natin. So, 90 days divided by 360 days, yun po yung magiging time frame po natin. Hindi siya yearly. Kasi pag year po siya, kung daily yung inutang natin, halimbawa, meron tayo ng 10,000, tapos ang daily na interest niya is 1 peso. So, after 1 year, may interest siyang 360 pesos. Eh, gusto natin, good for 90 days lang po. So, yung computations po natin, 90 divided by 360, P multiplied by your R. So, that's now the interest. So, next you have your D, exact interest. Interest computed on the basis of a 365-day a year. Kasi dito, 30 days a month lang po siya. Times 12, 360. Dito, yung exact number po natin. Per year, we have 365 days po siya. Or, pag leap year po naman, meron tayong February 29, that is 366. So, the same pa rin, PR, 90 days divided by 365 days. Okay? So, approximate time, calculated assuming that each month of the year has 30 days. Exact time, as the name suggests, it refers to the exact number of days as found in the calendar. So, yung exact time, no? So, yung iba kasi ayaw palugi, gusto nila 365. Yung iba, para madaling i-compute, they're going to compute on 360 days. Okay? Next, we are done with our simple interest. Next, we have your D, compound interest. So, ano ibig sabihin ng what's the difference between simple interest at compound interest? Doon sa simple interest, yung ano po natin is computed based on the exact days, no? Pero ganun doon sa compound, no? Kaso sa simple interest, yung principal lang po natin ang nagkakaroon ng interest. Doon sa compound interest po naman, halimbawa, nag-deposit kayo ng 10,000 sa bangko, after 1 year, meron siyang interest. Halimbawa, may interest siyang 500. So, magiging 10,500 po siya. Tapos, after another year, yung magiging principal po natin, hindi yung original principal po natin na 10,000. Ang magiging principal po natin doon is yung 10,500. Para yung interest ng isang taon ay kikita na siya ngayon ng interest for another year. Dito ulit sa simple, kung ano yung principal natin, kung 10,000 within 3 years, yun pa rin yung principal amount po natin. Pero sa compound interest, after a year, yung principal sa interest, yun po yung i-compute for the following year. Interest on the top of the interest po siya. Okay? So dito, it is an interest computed based on the original principal and the accumulated past interest. Kaya sabi niya, original principal and accumulated. Yung kinita na po niya ay kikita na rin ng interest. So compounding or conversion period M, the time between successive interest computations, the total number of conversions periods we have N is equal to T multiplied by M. An amount may be computed or converted for the following formula. Okay? Pag annually po siya, RM is equal to 1, semi-annually, M is equal to 2, quarterly, M is equal to 4, monthly, M is equal to 12. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na pag compound interest, mayroon kayong word na makikita, compounded. Either compounded annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly. So formula for finding compound amount F, future value is equal to P, 1 plus I raised to N. Pareho pa rin, no? Pero but by this time, your interest rate is equal to G all over M po siya. So interest equal to future minus principal. So this is our formula. A is the amount, P, principal, 1 plus R, the interest rate, divided by N. Yung N dito, nagre-rely po siya. They're annually, semi-annually, quarterly, and monthly. N, then multiply by T. N kung quarterly, ano? Pag quarterly, 4 times, halimbawa T is 3 years, so 4 times 3, we have 12 po siya dito. Okay? So we have your compound interest. Suppose you put $5 or 5 pesos in the bank pays 4% interest a year. But this time, it is credited, compounded to your account every quarter of the year. Doon sa simple interest po natin, mga problems, wala kayong nakitang word na compounded. Pero pagdating sa compound interest, meron kayong nakikitang compounded, tapos every year, every month, or every quarter. Ito po siya. Okay? A is equal to P, 1 plus I raised to N, divided by N, raised to N all over T. Your A is the total acquired amount, P the initial investment or principal, T is your time, I the interest rate, and the number of N times interest is compounded per unit time. So we have your example. You deposited $250 in a high earning account paying 9% compound interest. So dito meron tayong word na compound ulit, no? Ibig sabihin, this is compound interest po tayo. Hindi is simple interest. And leave it for 3 years. Pagkatapos doon, after 3 years, doon mo lang siya babalikan. What will be the balance on the account at the end of that time? Pero kanina, wala tayong narinig na kung anong quarter po siya, anong compounded. Pero dito, wala siyang nilagay. Kaya sabi dito, since the problem did not specify the number of times it is compounded per year. Kaya pag nakita kayong problem, kanina mayroon kayong nakita na quarter, no? Dito wala. Kaya pag ganun, automatic yun, yearly po siya. It did assume that it does so once every year. Okay? So formula po natin, A is equal to P 1 plus I all over N raised to N all over T. So yung principal natin is 250 multiplied by 1 plus interest is 0.09 compounded annually. So 1 po siya. Tapos, N dito, N pa rin is 1 pa rin. How many years? 3 years. So therefore, yung 250 natin, after 3 years, magkakaroon po siya ng total amount na $323.76. Okay? So that's now the example of compound interest. Next, another example. Find the interest and compounded amount on a loan of 54,600 pesos for 5 years and 6 months with interest of 8% compounded quarterly. Ito po siya, no? Okay, compounded quarterly. So, formula, future value is equal to P, okay, 1 plus I raised, yung natin dito, R all over N raised to N all over T. Ito siya, no? 1 plus I all over N raised to N all over T. So, if we're going to have that one, this is our principal, 54,600. 1 plus, saan nakuha yung 0.02? Yung 0.02, 8% po siya. So, pag ginamit natin yung 8%, 0.08 divided by how many years? 4 years po ata, no? Our N is compounded quarterly. So, ibig sabihin, pag quarterly po siya, 4. So, 0.08 divided by 4, the answer is 0.02. Doon po siya galing yung 0.02. Times 22. Saan galing naman yung 22? Ang formula po natin is N multiplied by T. Yung N kanina natin is quarterly, is 4. So take note, 5 years and 6 months. 5 years and 6 months, or that is 0.5. 0.5 ito, no? Kalahating taon po siya. So 5.5 times 4, the answer is 22. So by using our calcu, so we have your future value is 84,410.49. So ibig sabihin nun, after 5 years and 6 months, yung dineposit natin ng 54,600 pesos, earning 8% compounded quarterly, magkakaroon po tayo ng total amount na 84,410.49. So with that, magkano po yung kinita ng ating pera? So the interest after the 5.5 years is 29,810.49. So that is our answer. Okay? So next, find the compound amount and interest. If, sabi dito, 2,500 pesos is invested at 13% compounded quarterly for 12 years. So, compounded ulit, tapos quarterly. So, given P is equal to 2,500. Yung chain natin is 13%, T is equal to 12, M is equal to 4 po siya. So, N is equal to T multiplied by M. So, quarterly, that is 4. How many years? 12, so we have 48. Okay? Yung I po natin, 13% quarterly. So 0.13 divided by 4, we have 0.0325. So therefore, the future value P is equal 1 plus I raised to n 2,500, okay, multiply by 1 plus 0.035. Ito na. 1.035 raised to 48. So the total value is 11,605.47. So yun po yung magiging future value ng ating pera pag nag-invest tayo ng 2,500 at 13% compounded quarterly. After 12 years, magiging quadruple na yung pera natin, no? 11,605.47 pesos. It's a good investment. Kung ganito